what we're going to cover today is how you can use charity and community-led content to show that you're connected to what's going on. So basically how you can really focus on your area, your place, and using content to connect. How monitoring your local content stream and businesses in your area could help find you new content, which is always amazing. We always look at how we can save time and effort on here so that we can get you guys engaging with as much content as possible. And then how you can get creative with campaigns without the need of a marketing team. I think everyone always gets really scared of coming up with marketing related campaigns. And for this is all about how you can, do what the big boys are doing, but without having to pay the marketing team a whole load of salaries. And then how you can take what is going on in the world and share authentically to connect with a new audience. It's how you can, take what's going on in the world, or maybe come up with some new concepts or things that are important to you and connect to a new audience in maybe a different way. Okay, so for anyone that hasn't seen it, this is the Maybe platform. This is your dashboard. And this is basically how we do what we do. What we do is we make social media work. So we help you guys understand what is working, what isn't in your social media. And we do that through case studies, through training, and through helping you guys get better informed about what's working, aka your best post, your best content, against that of one of your competitors, or perhaps someone that maybe inspires you in some way, shape, or form, and then help you get better on a weekly basis through training like this. And I am just going to get cracking. So the Salvation Army, why would that have anything to do with sports? So the Salvation Army decided to show off one of their managers who recently represented Sunderland as one of the Queen's baton bearers, and it was to mark the start of the Commonwealth Games. So we're going to start by talking about Commonwealth. The Commonwealth Games. So what I just love this post so much anyway. So this is Christine. She's the manager of the Swan Lodge, and it really shows off Christine and goes into a ton of detail about why she was nominated, and even giving the quote so special. So I won't read out all of it, but it basically says that she was she represented Sunderland as one of the baton bearers. She was one of the 14 people, so it shows what a select amount of people it was. So it needs to be really special. Selected to represent the Northeast as part of the baton's journey. It gives the detail about how it works in case you didn't know. And then she says that she was nominated for being an extraordinary asset to the Salvation Army, who's selfless and always goes the extra mile and encourages people to be the best version of themselves. Then there's got a quote from her, which says that she's so excited, but she doesn't even know who put her forward, but obviously that she's so happy. And then she's saying that she's carried it on behalf of all the clients and staff from the Swan Lodge that are there to cheer her on. She was worried she might have to run, and she makes a little joke about it. Now, this post is everything. It's absolutely everything. So let's have a look at it. So it shows from the Salvation Army's point of view, obviously it's a big organization, and it shows that just how granular, they get in terms of the detail and the understanding of their team, of their volunteers, of basically, the people that physically help them deliver, all the help that they deliver across, across the UK and further. So I love that. And I love that then they've got the actual, the image of her there with the baton, and just how happy and excited she looks. It's a great picture, and it obviously shows off everything in the background. It's got the branding on it from the Salvation Army, which again anybody could do, just popping on their logo. But I think it's actually also Christine's quotes as well, when that they've explained that she's been nominated and they don't know by somebody who's saying that she's super selfless and just an all-round gem of a person, I guess. And she's just talking about just how amazing it was. And what I love is that she's also celebrating her team and celebrating the Salvation Army, and saying that that everyone was there to cheer her on, which shows again that camaraderie, that team effort, that spirit, which again tends to only come when it comes to people coming together and through sports and events and that kind of thing. So I absolutely love that. And I just think that I guess any business, big or small, can do something like this. So for me, it's if you're based in Sunderland or the surrounding area, I think go on there and find this post and like it, comment on it. It was only on the 26th of July. Go in, like it, comment on it, share it on your own feeds, because do you know what? This is a winner. This is something to celebrate. If you're an independent business, if you're a shopping centre, if you're a council, a bed, whoever you are, this is you celebrating, ultimately, the Salvation Army, celebrating them and what they do for people, but it's also celebrating a local hero. It's somebody who is, you know, as I've said, selfless, and works off their own steam and just really works to help support, you know, I'm sure hundreds of different people throughout the year at the lodge. So I think it's all about finding content from local charities, from local community initiatives that you can go on and support as a business. Even if you're not able to give anything financially, this is about, you know, promoting what they're doing locally, and it's about celebrating a local hero. So I would 100% be going in there and getting involved in this conversation and liking it. And it might even be that you start following some of these hashtags as well, as a way of supporting them. And if you think about it, it's things like the Commonwealth Games 2022, Commonwealth 22, Make a Difference, charity, non-profit, all of these things are going to be where you'll find all of the great content for Commonwealth. So just make sure that you're in there and engaging and commenting. And it might be that you find other things that are, I guess, more applicable to your business that you could go in and share perhaps. But I guess any business can do this. It is about celebrating your wins like a sports team would. Like with sports, it is about taking a little win or a big win and then turning it into something great on social media. So capture the excitement on video or through images, and whether it's that you won an award or you're up for an award, or it might be that one of your team's done something really nice. It might be someone's had a baby, someone's getting married. It doesn't really matter. For me, this is all about actually celebrating teams, going into the detail, really showing that you are somebody that understands their team members and the value that they bring, because people love supporting people. So yeah, I just absolutely love this. So, you know, it's a great way of taking, I guess, Commonwealth content and turning it into something that you could use, but it's also just a really lovely way of someone celebrating a member of their team. So yeah, so massive well done to Salvation Army, because I just love this, and well done to Christine as well, because it's just lovely. And then why not try out some of the Commonwealth hashtags to see what you can find going on? Perhaps you might be able to find some content that's worth sharing in your local feed. So for example, I literally went into the Maybe platform, went into engage, and I added in Commonwealth 2022, because again, that was one of the ones that was found on there, but there was Commonwealth 22, there was Commonwealth Games, Commonwealth UK, you know, there was loads of ones like that. So it could be worth going in, and if, you know, sports or fitness or just community is anything to do with your business, then get on there, get involved, and start looking for different things that you might be able to share. Just make sure that at the top you can do best post, but you can also choose local. So if you want to look at independent businesses that are supporting it, or any independent businesses that are doing anything for the Commonwealth, and you want to get some ideas, there's lots of different ways to do it. So yes, I just wanted to highlight that. That's a really easy way of being able to find some really good content that you might be able to share, whether it's from national news or whether it's from a local business. And then a couple of other ones. So these are national businesses, obviously. So I'm going to start by talking about Specsavers. Speaking of which, I'm going to put on my glasses as well. Just realised I was squinting. Right. So Specsavers marketing team, they have been super busy recently, and I don't know whether any of you guys have seen, possibly even featured them. So Stranger Things is obviously a massive Netflix show, and they did some really cool billboards for that, where they turned what effectively would have been, you know, their eye testing board, and they turned it upside down, because it's the world of the upside down. And then what they've done for this is, again, they've spotted that the Lionesses, funnily enough, this is all about Euro 2022. They spotted that everyone was talking about the Lionesses, that everyone was talking about it coming home, football coming home, England, all that kind of thing, and all about yeah, it was just, you know, it was a national hero sort of campaign, I guess. So they took that and thought, what else can we do with this? So they decided to take this billboard, and they've done It's Actually Coming Home, and then they've done Specsavers. So here, obviously, it is like one of their, you know, like eye test boards, you know, anybody who's had an eye test would recognize that, would go. So you have to kind of take a little minute to read it, but it is the image of a physical piece of advertising, I guess, which I love. And then the fact that they've taken the image and then they posted it on Twitter, and they've obviously posted it on some of their other feeds as well, with some really excellent hashtags. So it's a clever play on the eye test. It's really focusing on the big celebration, and it's taking an outdoor campaign and making the most of it and turning it into something that you can post on social media. So it's a really good way for a brand to win in multiple different ways on social media, I guess. So here they put 56 years of Hurt Over, amazing site. So that's them basically going, yes, we've done this. They're celebrating national pride. They're celebrating along with the rest of the nation. And then they've used the hashtags Lionesses, they've used the Euro 2022, and then they've used It's Coming Home. So all the kind of key hashtags that people have generally been using, and it had 144 retweets, 10 quote tweets, and 1,700 likes. So it's really, really strong, and you can see when they posted it as well, which was round about when all of this was going on. So I think for me, it's multiple things. It is about coming up with a concept that fits your business and your brand identity and what you guys do on a local level, and then adding that into what's going on in the world. So aka the Lionesses, aka the Euro 2022, any World Cups or Commonwealth or anything else that's going on, just a big event that's coming up, and thinking about, okay, how can we turn that into some content that we can use? Because guess what, even if you're not a massive football fan, most other people are in some way, shape or form, or at the very least, even if they're not football fans, they all got really behind the Lionesses for this year, and everybody had that sort of real national pride, and it was something that was talked about everywhere. So I think Specsavers doing something with it that is clever, that is branded, that leads back to them, which is aka the eye test, which is tongue-in-cheek, and then that's also then, I guess, got that element with the 56 years of Hurt, amazing site, got that element of emotion that's attached to it. So I think it's just such a clever thing for the marketing team to do, and again, it's something that anybody could come up with, and you don't have to have some huge advertising budget in order to do it. It's just about thinking, how can you connect a big thing that's going on in the world right now, aka lots of sports at the moment, and connect that to your business. And then the next thing I wanted to look at is Amazon. Now, probably don't focus much on Amazon on here. And the reason why is because obviously they're an absolutely huge corporation, and we tend to work tons with lots of independents and cities and towns and bids, and it's all about connecting people and places and things. But Amazon are a huge company. They've got a big marketing team, and what they did to celebrate the Lionesses was they just smashed it with this post. It's so clever in so many different ways. So anybody who's ever ordered anything from them, they know that this is on your dashboard here. So you would get what day you ordered it, and then you would get the day that it was dispatched and where it was dispatched from. Then you would get when it's out for delivery, and then normally you would get with a little thing saying, it's arrived or arriving. And what they've done is it's just been so clever. So they've said it was ordered the 6th of July. So that's when it all kind of kicked off, literally, and started. Then you've got it was dispatched from Sweden, aka where they came from. And the 26th of July, they put the date. Out for delivery the 27th of July, and then the 31st. So that the idea is it's like following the team as they go through all of the motions, and then at the end of it, it's coming home on the 31st of July, which is obviously the date that of the game. So what I love about it is the actual, it's just so clever. It's really, really clever. But do you know what? It is super, super simple. Anybody could have done that. If you were a takeaway business, you could have done, like literally a screenshot of how you do your delivery and done something like this. If you were a nail bar, you could have done some nails, and it could have been like it's coming home, or anything at all. There's lots of different ways that you could have done it, but this business obviously huge, and they chose to do it in actually a really simple way. That's not something that's going to cost them a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of time. They just knock that up and chuck it on Instagram. But it shows you that even the simple things can be clever. And obviously, irrespective of how anybody feels about Amazon, it's just a great way of them creating the engagement. So they've done one stop away, good luck to @Lionesses tonight. And then they've done all of the hashtags that people would use. And then, of course, they've got Alexa to do setting a reminder to bring it home at 5 o'clock, which is when everything literally kicked off. And then they've got their Amazon UK saying order delivered. So they've done the update saying congratulations. So this is when it's coming out. This is when it's due out for delivery. And then they've done a little update saying it's come home. Obviously, there's lots of people who are going to be, engaged in this that are saying, fingers crossed. And there's some people that are finding it a little bit controversial. That's okay, because guess what? They're engaged with it. They have gotten involved, they've gotten engaged, they've gotten involved in the conversation, and Amazon have taken something that's got nothing to do with them whatsoever and turned it into a piece of content because it's national pride and something that they feel would get them engagement, and that's what they've done. So again, it's just a really super simple way of any business being able to take something that's going on that's big, of this time, and people are interested in it, and then turning it into a piece of content. So yeah, really, really good. And then I was thinking about Specsavers, funny enough. I was thinking about Specsavers, and they actually do really, really good content, and I don't think we talk enough about them. But when you go on, I'll just see if this clicks through. Let's fingers crossed. So when you go on to the Maybe platform and you go on now to content calendar, so what you can do on there is you can schedule in all your content now, which is something people asked us for years, and it's now here. So you can now schedule in all your content across all the platforms, which is brilliant. And when you go on, you can start to look at your own content and start to kind of understand what's working, what's not. But you can also compare your content to anybody. So it could be that you compare it to someone like Specsavers. It could be that here you compare it to someone like Boodle, which is a jewelry company. It doesn't matter. It's just what you can do is you can get inspiration. So say it was Specsavers, so say you were a jewelry company and it's Boodle, like the below. What you can do is you can see their post, you can look at viewing it, and you can go, do you know what, actually that is really, really interesting. It might be that, I don't know, you are a beauty retailer, and sharing some diamonds would fit in really well with your audience. Great. If you are I don't know, maybe more female led or something like that, and Specsavers has some great content, you can also find that here as well, and you can actually physically go in and share that on your posts. Or you can look at them and go, do you know what, actually this is what this brand did for the last week. Let's see here. So you can see all the content that they posted over the last week, and then you can start to compare and contrast. So this might be that you go, do you know what, actually I want to look at this local sports club, or I want to look at a national sports club. It might be they want to look at the Lionesses, or it might be you want to look at Amazon, Specsavers, or any of the other ones that we feature on here. What you can see is all of your own content, and then you can start to see theirs, and it's incredible. So you can start to understand what's working, what's not. You can view their posts, you can duplicate them, and you can see which channels they're using on a more regular basis. But as I say, it's a really good way of you being able to monitor, say it was to do with the Commonwealth, or say it was the England sports team, or it was the athletics, or it was gymnastics, or whatever it was that you wanted to follow. Pop it in here, and then all the content will come up here, and you can go, do you know what, I've got a little hole in my content on, I don't know, Friday. So I'll just take this, repost it and share it as my own. And then that will turn into some really good content for your followers. So it's just a little top tip there. And then last but not least, I wanted to feature an independent, because and how I found this was actually through the Maybe platform, and I was looking for best post, and I was looking under Lionesses. So I typed in Lioness into hashtag, and this is what came up. So here she is. So this is Lucy Claire Dunbar, and she is a digital watercolor artist, and she created some absolutely stunning cards with an image that I think everybody would recognize, that really summed up the Lionesses game last week, and turn the image into something that should and could be used to, I guess, empower. That's what it was designed for. And it was to empower women and girls everywhere, that they can do absolutely anything they want to do. And I think what I love is the image itself is lovely. And I love even just the little backdrop and subtle detail, but it really shows you just how stunning the image is. And I think it's an iconic image that anybody could recognize now off the back of all of the press over the last couple of weeks. I love what she has put in her post, which is for young girls, for women, for the nation. And she talks about how she witnessed history, not just for women's football, but for women in general. She hopes it gives them inspiration. You can do anything no matter your gender. What I love is that she's really honest and says she's actually not a big football fan. So she's kind of obviously gotten behind it. Maybe did she even watch it? Who knows? But what she's done is she's gotten behind the ethos and the story behind all of it. She's gotten behind the fact that she's a huge believer in dreaming big. What these women did was dream big, and they turned women's football into this huge thing to celebrate, which is amazing. But what she's put is she's shown that that we can do anything. And then she's tagged the Lionesses, which again is a really brave thing for a small business to do. Thank you for inspiring not only me, but for millions. I absolutely love the post because it is creative. It shows how stunning her artwork is. So it really shows off her skills. It shows off her passion, and it's honest, and it shows that, yeah, you don't have to be a football fan to have appreciated what's what's going on in the world and why everybody would be excited about this. And then she's tagged in the Lionesses, which is amazing. And then she's done all of the right hashtags as well, which again is absolutely nothing to do with gift cards or any of her products particularly. It's all about the Euros, and it's all about football, because guess what? Any football fan, and any female football fan, anyone who is, I guess, a champion of women, for example, who would be really inspired by this image, is going to be following a lot of these hashtags and going to find her through those hashtags and go, oh my goodness, that is an iconic image. That would be amazing for one of my friends, or it might be a good birthday card. It might be a good just like all round friends supported friends kind of card. It might be something you get for your daughter, but they would never have found her otherwise if they were just because they might just be big fans of football. So she's opening herself up to an incredible new audience by doing these hashtags. So it's a mix of everything. It is getting behind the sport, getting behind something, but being honest and saying she's not a massive fan of football, but she's a fan of women. She's a fan of championing women. So she's doing all this for that. And she's created an amazing content off the back of it. And I think what I love as well, look at the rest of her posts. She's done absolutely loads of them. So there's lots of different, and look at the amazing the content that she's got. I love that you've created this. It's so awesome. Here you go. We've never doubted. Well deserved from start to finish. So these are all, like football fans, women supporting women. People absolutely love it. Are you selling this? So people are actually asking, and these are new people that have come to her off the back of, again, using these kind of hashtags. So it clearly works really, really well. And again, what I want to show is also just how authentic she is as well. Just a little check on Sunday morning. These are little squares that show part of our life, but sometimes I need to remind myself, when I spiral into comparison, remember, life can't always be perfect. So this is her making everything. Look, this is her designing it. This is her creating it. This is her showing her, British, English pride. This is her getting behind the Lionesses, getting behind her business as well. And it's showing what she does and how she actually does it. So again, any new people that have come to see this image are suddenly transported by this and suddenly gone, oh my goodness, I need to share this. I need to get involved. I need to show that. And look at the difference in her hashtags. Absolutely nothing to do with football and everything to do with what she does. She understands how hashtags work. She understands how to signpost people to her business, and she's opened herself up to a completely new audience. So yeah, just well done. And on that note, I guess anybody could do that, because if you think about it, Lionesses is still something that's hugely celebrated at the moment. Commonwealth is hugely celebrated at the moment. All those things are potentially new people that you could open up your business to, potentially new people that might buy from you. Think about it. Any sports fan who's following the Lionesses content are going to be doing it through hashtags. So it could be, I put in, say, hashtag Lionesses, but you might put in hashtag Lioness team, Lionesses 2022, Euro 2022, whatever you put in. It's getting a lot of news, it's getting a lot of coverage. So it might be that there's content on there that, because you might not be particularly interested in, I don't know, the Commonwealth Games or football or whatever it might be, doesn't mean that your audience isn't. So have a think about what your audience is going to be interested in. Try out some of the hashtags on the Maybe platform in here, see what content comes up and think, do you know what? I might not know enough about it, but I'll share it. And again, just make sure that you're using those kind of hashtags in any content that's related to it, because again, like Lucy, you're going to attract new people to your feed that might never have come to you before, because they might not have just known to look for you, whereas they know what they love and they know what they want to support. So yeah, just a little, again, top tip from me on that one. And remember, when it comes to content, you can compare and improve. You can compare to one competitor forever for free. So when you log on, as I say, on the left-hand side here, you can get your best post every week, but then you can also get the best post of any business whatsoever that you want to hop on there, and you can, and it might be a competitor, or it might be, as I say, a national treasure, or it might be, I don't know, somebody that you want to get some inspiration from. But either way, this is going to be a game changer for you, because you can start to really understand what's working, what's not, how to improve, how to compare, how to level up as well. So key takeaways for me are, I guess, follow what is going on with local charities and initiatives, because that really makes sure that you're supporting your community. Get involved with as much as possible. Watch the different local hashtags, watch what the local charities and community groups are doing, share some of it, support some of it, because again, it shows that you're then an integral part of your community. Sports clubs, local young youth sports teams, anything like that, just make sure you're supporting them, because again, they get good coverage, they get support, but it means that you're then getting involved in their conversation, and you're appealing to a whole load of fans that might never have known that you existed. You can also get creative with your copy and any static posts on social media or offline. So just think about Specsavers. Should have gone to Specsavers. Have a little look at the kind of stuff that they've done for As I Save Sport, Stranger Things. I think they did Love Island something. And they've just gotten a bit creative with how they want to show their interest and show their excitement for what's going on. And they've related what's going on directly back to their business through getting a bit creative. So it just gives you an opportunity to think about things in a slightly different way. Then even if you're not hugely interested in sports or whatever else is happening at the moment, if it appeals to your customers, then find a way to talk about it, because it does drive engagement. So think about any like big events. As I say, it might have been a big festival that's going on in your area. It might be a charity event, or it might be a national event. It might be a concert, whatever it is. Even if you're not interested, follow it all, because it might be that, it really engages with, a bunch of your followers that might not have otherwise commented or engaged in your posts. And then, as I always say, use Maybe to learn what's working for you and others and focus your efforts there. That's exactly what we do every week. We come here and we try and give you guys some hints and tips and tricks on how you guys can level up and come up with some new content, new ideas, but also how you can take your existing content and turn that into something even more amazing and make it go further for you, make it work harder for you. That's what we do.